Hello Lyman Jour, it's Tuesday February's 2nd. Punxsutawney Phil has apparently predicted an early spring, and I'm here to talk to you about what I learned about love from vampires.
It will be alright.
Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that last summer I read Twilight just to see what all the buzz was about, and of course I'm a little bit late to the game, but I'd just like to say that I don't think it's as consequential as people seem to think it is. I didn't hate it as much as people hate it, and I didn't love it as much as people love it. I just thought it was, boring. But I can say I agree with what people have been complaining about, which is that the relationship at its core is very empty. Bella loves Edward because he's strong and beautiful. Edward loves Bella because her blood smells good and she can't bring herself to leave him. He wants to eat her but doesn't because he doesn't eat anybody anymore, apparently. Which can be the basis for a good story, I have to admit. This whole idea of a rogue evil person can be very compelling. However, the only thing that Stephenie Meyer has to say about Edward is that he's perfect. She doesn't even really say what perfection is. However, there's definitely a lot more good lovin' going on in Dracula. I have to admit, I was expecting Dracula to be a little more prominent in the book that was named after him, but it turns out that it's about a handful of people who are most affected by him. There's a pair of women who have been best friends for pretty much their whole lives, and they are also both engaged and eventually become married. Jonathan Harker, the husband of Mina, ends up being taken in by Dracula and actually helps Dracula get to London to try and infect their population. Now let me clarify, the process of infection is actually a lot more time consuming than it is in a lot of other stories of vampires. It's not just like he bites you and you turn into a vampire. Dracula has to stalk you and bite you pretty much every night for like a month before you turn into a vampire. And this starts happening to the main characters in Dracula, and the whole story is about how much they're willing to sacrifice for each other. There's the best friend relationship between Mina and Lucy, wherein they just tell each other everything. And the same thing can be said between them and their spouses as well. In fact, pretty late in the book, for various reasons, Jonathan has to completely cut off communications with Mina, and it basically destroys both of their morals. The love that people have for each other in this book is so deep that when one of them gets infected, the person who loves the most has to bring themselves to kill the vampire, and then they see the peace wash over the face of the dead corpse. And I think that's just incredibly touching, that you love someone so much that you would go against everything that you believe you should do for them in order to ensure that they have eternal rest. So in conclusion, Dracula has a lot of really good things to say about love. Twilight, not so much. But most of you already knew that. Just a few updates. Today is the last day that we are accepting vlogging entries for the Fizzy Olympics. There will be several still linked at the end of the video. I will also put all of the videos that I have thus far in the description so that you guys can go watch them and decide who you would like to win the People's Choice Award. And with that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, I'm editing right now, and I just realized that I forgot to mention that I learned a new synonym for Twilight from this book, The Invisible Man. The word is gloaming, so if you ever want to talk about that time after dusk without mentioning that book series, just use the word gloaming and nobody will know that you're actually talking about Twilight. Okay, bye.
I'm not quite good at first impressions. I'm not so strong at first sight. But if this is the first